If you've ever wondered what the heck you actually said at the end of that party,
or wanted a do-over button for those cringe-worthy encounters,
then you've experienced what we call the joy of awkwardness.
I'm Mindy.
And I'm Bree.
And we're here to celebrate the awkward.
Embrace the awkward.
And remind you of one important thing.
You may be awkward,
but you're definitely not alone.
Well, that was awkward.
Hi, Bree.
Hi, Mindy.
I said hi first today. I was watching you push the button. I was like, I'm going to do it first. I'm going to be first.
Hey, Mindy.
What?
Do you remember a few weeks ago when I did my awkward and alone about my very awkward wedding?
Of course I do. It was great.
And do you remember how we invited the listeners to share their own awkward wedding stories?
Yes.
Well, we got a call-in.
Oh, yay.
Can I play this very awkward call-in wedding story?
Oh, my gosh. Please. I can't wait.
Okay, here we go.
Hi friends, I was so excited when you said you were looking for awkward wedding stories because I feel like I leave every wedding I go to with an awkward story from it, whether it was me or someone else. But the most recent wedding I went to a few weeks ago was for a cousin of my boyfriend. During the ceremony, the officiant announces that the bride and groom would like to do a very special butterfly release to honor their relatives who could not be with us because they have passed away.
That's so sweet.
That is.
You know, the totem for my great aunt Lou is a butterfly.
Oh, that's Denise's too. Our friend Denise's.
Oh.
Her spirit animal is a butterfly.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, I love this idea. I think it's a great idea for a wedding.
So, you know, I'd say the guests were all sort of getting a little teary-eyed. Everyone was like, that's so sweet. There's no music or anything. We're outside, and the bride and groom in silence walk over and get this big white box that looks like a cake box, basically like a cardboard cake box. And silently, they're like slowly opening it. It had a ribbon on it. Everyone's like waiting with bated breath. They open the box, nothing happens. And everyone's like, uh-oh. And of course, I'd say this probably, you know, what felt like an eternity, but it was like 10 or 15 seconds go by where nothing happens. Everyone's like, ugh, what's going to happen? The groom picks up the box of sleeping butterflies. I hope that, you know, that's what everyone assumes is that there's butterflies in there like waiting in hibernation or something. He picks up the box, flips it upside down, and starts violently shaking all of these butterflies out of it. And they're just like dropping to the floor. Now everyone's sort of like, oh, okay. Still silent. No music, no nothing. The bride is like tapping him like, oh, okay, well, cut the name. The bride is like, stop. I kid you not. The whole thing lasted like 60 seconds, but I felt like it was truly an hour of like agony for the guests. He flips it back over and actually violently shook it again, which was like really sealed the deal on it being the most sad butterfly release of all time. And then my boyfriend, who was sitting next to me, leans over and was like, "Don't shake grandma."
Oh my God. How did they not bust out laughing or screaming?
That's one of those ones where you end up with a cut on the inside of your mouth because you're biting your cheek so hard to stop from laughing.
Or like, where was the flower girl and the ring bearer? Because a kid would lose their, you know what? A kid would lose it over that. Oh my God. But I love that instead of like a metaphor for releasing their souls to heaven, they basically did blood sacrifices of butterflies in honor of their ancestors.
So it was very comical, although incredibly awkward in the moment. So I hope you enjoyed that story. I really enjoyed the debrief with the family after.
That's a way to bond with your boyfriend's family.
I love this. Hey, caller, please use that every wedding you go to is awkward. So keep them coming, honey.
We hope you go to lots of weddings.
Yes.
Thank you so much for calling in that story. We really, really love how awkward it really was. Hey, Mindy, do you have a listener story for this week?
Oh, boy, I do. Today's story comes from Ethan. And Ethan Bree was quite unlucky in love until he got super lucky. And as we shall see, good things truly do come in threes.
Ooh.
Ethan was a clever and curious little man-child, and like many of us, he remembers that day he learned about the birds and the bees at age 10. Bree, do you remember when you first learned about the birds and the bees?
I absolutely do. I was probably 5 years old, and my dad gave me a book called Where Did I Come From? And it had very cute drawings of men and women naked, but they were like silly drawings, so it didn't feel too... I'll just show you too. I will link it in the show notes. It was a banned book. I do know this. It was a banned book. But it had these funny cartoon drawings of naked men and women and babies and sperm and all sorts of things. And it described an orgasm as a cross between, I think it was a sneeze, getting tickled, and jumping rope all at the same time.
I can't believe orgasm was in there.
Oh, yeah.
How forward-thinking. How
It was the
progressive.
70s.
You know, have you heard that statistic that one orgasm equals 17 sneezes?
No.
Yeah, and I hate it when I tell people that because then they say, "Whoa, won't you just go sneeze 17 times?" And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. That all has to be at the same time. And also, I don't think it's true.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those things that I would make up. So, Mendy, do you remember the first time you learned about sex?
Yes. Well, I knew people were naked in the bed with each other, but I didn't know the actual mechanics of it because, I watched General Hospital.
Right.
But in 4th grade, I was in my grandmother's living room, and my aunt had left all these romance novels on the bookshelf. So, got one off the shelf, cracked it open, and there was one phrase that told me actually what happened. It was, he entered her.
Is that supposed to be sexy?
It was gross. I screamed, and then I ran to school the next day, and I yelled to all my girls. I was like, they put it in. They put it in. And then it started spreading all around. They put it in. They put it in. Yes, it was horrifying. We could not imagine that is actually what happened.
You really wreaked havoc on the playground that next day, didn't you?
They put it in.
Did you know what it was?
Yes. I knew what part of him entered her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, that was when I would never forget that phrase.
So is this a learning about the birds and the bees story?
Well, after Ethan's first sex ed class, he becomes incredibly interested in and curious about the opposite sex. He was like, I got it. Let's do this. What a concept. This is great. I'm ready.
Completely different reaction than either of us would have.
Actually, yes. But, of course, he's too young, duh. But even after puberty strikes and his pollen sacs drop, he just can't get any action. He was anxious. He was socially awkward. He had a deep fear of rejection. He still actually beats himself up for having sat on a brick wall with a lovely girl for upwards of 2 hours without ever having the guts to make a move.
Yeah, but she was probably grateful for that.
Yeah, good point. And like you, Bree, he went to boarding school.
All boys?
Well, basically, the boy-girl ratio was 2-1 in favor of the boys or the girls. Wait.
Depends on who's asking.
There were a ton more boys than girls. The odds were not in his favor or anyone's favor. No one's getting laid in high school, basically. It was a pretty uptight crowd, too. He said that third base was getting a girl to take off her sweater, so she was only wearing her turtleneck. He gets into college, and the summer before he starts, something life-changing happens to him. Miami. One of his friends from boarding school is so tired of the stuffy prep school thing that he decides he's moving to Miami to become a professional party dude. Ethan goes to visit him, and he said it was like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Raging poolside parties, skinny dipping, boobies in the hot tub, beach thongs, and Ethan is in heaven. He was like, yes, this is the way. This summer, I'm going to smoke pot and be naked in the pool.
And he did.
Okay, go Ethan. Happy graduation. I'm just thinking about professional party people. I used to work for some of those people in New York when I was in my early 20s. The people who their whole job was just to throw parties at nightclubs and get people to come half naked. That was it.
What a life till you get old.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway.
And he has an absolute blast, of course, but he must return for his first year at Preserving Anonymity, a super great school for super smart people, Bree.
Yale.
In his words, he came out of summer like a champagne cork out of a bottle.
I'm curious, Mindy, what was his major at Princeton?
He majored in botany.
Okay. So does college work out better on the romance front?
Not really. I mean, the ratio is better for sure, but he was on work release, so he didn't have much time to party.
Work release?
Like, he had to work. He was on a scholarship. Like, it's when you work and then they release you to go to class, and he didn't have time to have a lot of fun in between.
Work study? I think work release is what inmates get in prison.
Oh, well, you would know.
You're talking about work study. I would know that too.
Yeah, so that's it. He was legit cleaning toilets and scooping ice cream with a lot of learning and a lot of hand washing in between. And the school is like super prestigious. Old money, stuffed shirts. Like all his classmates have a portrait of their great-grandfather with like a monocle in a leather chair surrounded by unpaid labor and African taxidermy.
Oh, Columbia.
But he graduates, and he has not forgotten that marvelous maniatic mayhem of that month in Miami. He says it was like he had caught some kind of Miami retrovirus. So he bops on down there after graduation, works like a just-got-my-degree J.O.B., and lives it up. He gets laid, he plays in a rock and roll band, living the bachelor life. Once just a wallflower, now our little Ethan is cross-pollinating like he's always dreamed. Did you have a fun time after college where you were just single and working and loving life, Bree?
Mindy, you know I got married in college. And after college, I went right to grad school. And in grad school, I had my baby. So, no.
Well, he wants to do more with his life, Bree, and for the world. So he applies to grad school, which, Bree, you also went to grad school. Bree, why did you go to grad school?
Why did I go to grad school? I am still trying to figure that out, Mindy.
What did you go for?
Oh, I went for drama therapy.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
With a baby?
I had the baby when I was in grad school.
Aww.
It was good times. I have definitely used my drama therapy degree every day. I used it. It's really made a difference.
I know you've made a difference to a lot of people. So he's in grad school.
What for?
More botany.
Cornell.
Now, grad school is not in Miami. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
It's a much slower town. But they had a really good botany program, like really cutting edge in the field during this time. This was the place to be studying this, but not so much if you wanted to party. So there's a period of adjustment for Ethan. He's left his rich social network, his band behind, but it's okay. He knows he just needs to go dormant for this grad school winter and focus on his studies. He's gotten it out of his system, that Miami retrovirus. He is ready to venture into adulting. And as a grad student, he, of course, needs to teach a class. And these classes are usually the most basic classes taught to undergrads, usually just to meet some kind of graduation requirement. Mm-hmm. I took one of those at UVA. It was physics, which you'd think I'd like, but it was Newtonian physics, not astrophysics or quantum physics. But we called it physics for athletes. Mm-hmm. Did you have one of those?
I did. I took a biology for jocks.
So he gets his teaching schedule, and it sucks. He gets like the total shit end of the stick. A full week of 8 a.m. classes, all athletes, because they have to make it to practice by noon. And then he goes in for his first class on a Monday. And what do you know? His Monday, Wednesday, Friday rotation is strictly Amazon only. All the women athletes at this huge state school.
Oh, state school.
What's your guess now?
For botany. I have no idea.
And this is not current, right? This is a while back.
What's that school University of Michigan?
Yes, your stories are safe with us. They are completely anonymous, and Bree will peck at them.
University of Michigan. That's where he went.
Okay. So, but he's got all the women athletes in this Botany for Babes 101 with Mr. Ethan. They're 6 feet tall, chiseled. They are just taking the class so they can graduate. So they have that intoxicating, aloof vibe that, like, I don't care, I don't want to be here, that's so attractive. And it's August, so they're wearing dental floss. So this is Ethan's first test. But Ethan isn't in Miami anymore. He's in grad school. He must stare at the back of the wall every single day and avoid eye contact at all costs. Grad school is intense, especially for the sciences. He's doing like legit cutting-edge botanical research in labs and in the field with goggles and a lab coat and like gloves and stuff like that.
And a hoe?
Yeah, and he cannot be distracted. He soon finds out that he doesn't even have time for a fling or any kind of social network outside of the other lab nerds in his graduate program. Yes, there were women in his program, but there was no time for any funny business. So he gets lonely and feels a bit isolated. He does eventually find his stride in this smaller than Miami town, and he starts to venture out. He goes to a rock show, meets a girl there, a townie girl, and they start to date, casually. Then it becomes a thing. She does that thing where everything is going fine, and then she sits him down and says she wants things to go deeper.
Does that mean being exclusive or putting a ring on it?
Or a blood oath, a letter jacket.
Or like more interesting and emotionally engaged conversations?
Oh, like what?
Like childhood trauma?
Oh, that's juicy. Well, he is also confused and ambivalent. So he whips out the old tried and true, let's take a break.
Has anyone you know ever taken a break and ended up together forever? I mean, I take a break from Little Debbie's Swiss rolls.
And you always come crawling back.
So they're on a break.
Yes, they're on a break. But in the meantime, he has been organizing a spring break trip to Miami amongst his grad school colleagues.
Is the ex-ish girlfriend invited?
Nope, they're taking a break.
She made the wrong demand.
Yep, lots of the nerds are into the idea of the trip, but by the time the trip comes around, only 2 of his grad student colleagues are able to accompany him. Both lady nerds.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say, uh-oh.
No, I'm all for him and the lady nerds if he's on a break with the deep girlfriend.
Yeah, but don't get too excited. He said the women weren't very touchy-feely. They were very scientific and just as driven as Ethan. And they were also training to be researchers, so they were very focused on doing their very, very sciencey, evidence-based, cutting-edge botanical research, Bree.
And it's just the 3 of them.
Yes, and they have a blast.
That's great.
There's no hanky-panky, though.
Because research is fun. Hooray!
But here comes the honeypot. These women are now going to need names, Bree. I think they should be flower names, like Daisy and Chrysanthemum, Coxswain, Lily.
How about Poppy?
Poppy, of course you'd say Poppy. All right, Ethan, Daisy, and Poppy have so much fun on this trip. And you know beach trips are bond building, right?
Yeah, bikini bonding is a real thing.
Legit. I want to hang out with Poppy and Daisy. Bree, you've hung out with super smart girls in bikinis, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just had the best time in Sodwana Bay with my oceanographer girlies. And we ate pineapples and talked about coral restoration and whale songs. And it was so... I also like hanging out on the beach with you, Mindy.
Thank you. And Ethan and the girls have gotten to know each other better, so they decide to hang out even more when they return from their trip.
Aw.
What?
The girlfriend didn't get to go.
Well, she messed up.
I'm going to pretend that she went to a beautiful Arctic lake and enjoyed a week of self-reflection and romance novels.
Exactly. And one particular night, Ethan and Daisy are heading over to Poppy's pad. Well, now her name is Lily, so we could say Lily Pad, to watch a movie on a sofa bed. Bree, what movie do you think it could be?
Reservoir Dogs?
Too violent. Maybe something about plants.
The Secret Garden?
No, never mind. I had The Lion King on VHS, so I'm going with The Lion King. They have some drinks. They get cozy on the sofa bed. And, well, remember when Mufasa was like,
"Do you see everything the light touches?"
I think the line is, everything the light touches is our kingdom.
yeah, well, let's say King Ethan laid claim to everything the light doesn't touch.
What? They all did it all together?
Yes, they felt the love that night.
He put it in?
Lots and lots.
Hakuna Matata.
They enter the magical kingdom of throupledom.
Mindy, this is our first awkward throuple. I think that would be super, super awkward.
Oh, but they were a very happy throupledom. These encounters kept happening on purpose, on accident for a few weeks, and everyone was happy. Then Ethan's birthday rolls around. Daisy and Lily come over with champagne to celebrate.
At his place.
Yes, and again, they all accidentally on purpose end up happily cross-pollinating. And Ethan's little bee legs are just chocked full of pollen when he hears a noise. Someone is at the front door. He tells Lily and Daisy to hide in the walk-in closet. He throws on some clothes, runs to the door, and who do you think it is, Bree?
Oh, it's the girlfriend on break.
Yep. I guess it was a surprise birthday visit. He opens the door.
No, don't let her in.
Oh, God, he's trying so hard not to when she yells, "I know there's a woman in there." What's he going to do? Be like, "No, there's actually 2 women in here."
Well, that was awkward.
So what happens?
Well, she yells at him for a while. Daisy and Lily stay hidden in the closet, and finally, girlfriend on break storms away. When he goes back in, the mood has, of course, shifted. Everyone was like, "Oh, my God, oh, my
I
God."
bet.
Bree, what would you have done at this point?
Am I Ethan or a flower girl?
You're Ethan, listener's perspective.
Oh, okay. I would be like, party's over, go home, and then I would self-flagellate for everything I've ever done wrong.
Well, he said there were about 30 seconds of him saying he was really sorry and apologizing.
Yep, I feel you, Ethan.
But they were still up for it. And he said it turned into awesome.
What?
Yep. The next day, he called girlfriend on break, asked to meet up, and they took a long hike during which he thought she might pull out a gun and shoot him, but she didn't. And he admitted that he had been with somebody else, that it wasn't serious, and he was upfront with her about not wanting to continue that relationship.
That's good.
And the throuple ended up just naturally fizzling. The sun eventually set on their little kingdom, and they finished the program together. No drama.
I guess their experiment was done.
Yes.
Okay, so did he have any advice for us?
Yes, he said, like in relationships, if you're feeling a maybe, that might be a no as far as staying in a relationship. And he said he should have just known that his ambivalence towards the girlfriend was a no. And he said, if you've ever thought of having a threesome, do it. Do it with people who are mentally stable and with whom you already have some relationship.
So what would you do, Mendy, if an ex showed up at your door?
Well, Dana and I agree on this one. We're going with the same playbook. Don't answer the dang door. And everybody get in the closet and bring snacks.
So you'd sort of play sardines.
Yeah, but I'd never be in a throuple to begin with because I don't share.
Yeah, I'm feeling for that ex-girlfriend who's out there thinking, what does she have that I don't have?
Well, I guess having 2 women helps with that sort of self-torturing. Like, what does she have that you don't have? Well, she's got twice as many orifices,
4 tatas,
20 fingers,
and 2 brains. Hey, listener, we want the scoop from you. A, have you had an awkward throuple situation? And B, what would you do if your ex showed up at your place when you were in there with somebody else on your birthday? Let us know. Send us an email or respond in the comments. You can also send us a voice memo, and we'll put all the links to that in the show notes.
In the meantime, don't open the door.
Don't open the door.
This reminded me of that great Schoolhouse Rock song. I show it to my kids every year. 3 is the magic number.
I guess 3 was the magic number for Ethan. And here's another song that we can leave our listeners with today.
Yeah, Awkward House Rocks.
Ethan's birthday bash was prime for delight.
Throuple on the sofa, everything felt right.
Then a pounding on the floor turned passion to fright.
Well, that was awkward. So when mixing romance, keep the closet free.
And if you're on a break, talk it out maybe.
Don't turn that threesome into a jamboree. I think I'm going to keep my cap at 2.
Nothing wrong with a onesome. Well, that was awkward.
Was Marie Kondo just creating secret hiding spaces for lovers that whole time?
I guess we know it brought her joy. This has been an Awkward Sage production.